Welcome to Monday, October 20th County Council meeting. Madam Clerk, resolution to open, please.
It's moved by Councillor St. Pierre, seconded by Councillor Fraser, that the meeting of the Council of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas and Glengarry be hereby called to order.
All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. So something I don't get to do very often, but today I do get to do it. Pretty near at the end of my term. But anyways, so I just want to say it's a great pleasure. And Sarah McMillan's in the back, but we want to recognize her. She's earned the Executive Diploma in Municipal Management from the Association of Municipal Managers, Clerks and Treasurers of Ontario. And this program is one of the most comprehensive and respected professional development opportunities available to municipal leaders in Ontario. It requires tremendous dedication, skill, a deep understanding of how municipalities work, from governance, finance, to leadership and community engagement. Sarah has not only met these high standards, she's excelled, demonstrating the kind of professionalism, commitment, and forward thinking that make our municipal organization stronger. So Sarah now joins an impressive group of graduates who continue to make a real difference in their communities. So on behalf of County Council, I want to say congratulations. We're proud of you. Thank you very much. And we're very pleased that you are working for us and helping to make our municipalities better. So if you could come up for a moment, Sarah. Easy for me to do, a lot of work for Sarah, I suspect. But congratulations again. Adoption of the agenda, Madam Clerk.
It's moved by Councillor St. Pierre, seconded by Councillor Bergeron, that Council approve the agenda.
Were there anything that anybody wanted to change in the agenda? All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. So the minutes of September 15th and 25th, 2025, Madam Clerk.
Moved by Councillor Fraser, seconded by Councillor St. Pierre, that the minutes of the meetings of the Council of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas and Glengarry held September 15th and September 25th, 2025 be adopted as circulated. Anybody notice any errors or omissions in the minutes? All those in favor? It's carried again. Thank you. It's great when everybody votes. I don't have to ask if any opposed. We are on to 5.1, Glengarry Memorial Hospital. Robert, he's right there. Welcome. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Thank you very much for having me this morning. My name is Robert Alder-Hughes. I'm the President and CEO of Hospital Glengarry Memorial Hospital. I'm here this morning to talk to you about transforming rural healthcare in Eastern Ontario, and a little bit more about our hospital located in Alexandria. Hospital Glengarry Memorial Hospital is located in Alexandria, as I said, and we serve over 41,000 residents annually in Eastern Ontario. We are a designated French Language Services Act hospital where we are able to deliver care in both official languages. We have over 180 staff members, serviced by 50 physicians and over 100 volunteers. Our services span our 24/7 emergency department, inpatient medicine, and rehabilitation. We have outpatient services such as endoscopy, ambulatory care clinics, diagnostic imaging, and also supported by pharmacy and lab. When we look ahead, we're planning on developing and redeveloping our hospital, and I just want to sort of outline the hospital capital planning process and where we are at in this process, the very beginning. We are at stage 1.1 of the capital redevelopment planning process as set out by the Ministry of Health, and this is known as early planning. You'll see that there's about 3 steps in the ministry's process, but if you add up all the steps plus the A and B, there's more like 12 steps throughout the process. And through each step of the capital redevelopment process, we do require Ministry of Health support to move to the next step. So you may be asking yourself, well, what are your drivers for change? Why do you need to change your hospital if things seem to be going quite well? Well, we know that we have a growing frail and elderly and seniors population in the Champlain East region, and this is going to increase our demand of services as we look ahead. So when I talk about looking ahead, we're looking ahead 20, 30 years from now and the type of population that we will be providing care to. The rural communities that we serve have a high proportion of people living in higher social determinants of health risk in those neighborhoods. We also have a high proportion of francophones, so servicing patients in both official languages for health services is crucially important. We'll talk about those first 2 bullet points in a little bit further detail, where I show you some staggering graphs to support the case for change. We also have a lack of fit for space purposes and appropriate adjacencies. So when I boil this down, what this means is the places and the spaces that we're providing care were built for a different time. You may recall that we celebrated 60 years of our hospital opening this past year, but 60 years ago we didn't have workstation on wheels, we didn't have the equipment use that we need today. And we have bathrooms on our inpatient units that don't support wheelchairs going in or other assisted devices. We have 1 shower for 37 patients on our inpatient unit. So when I talk about the case for change and the type of space that we're working within, it's close quarters, it's tight, and where things are located are not necessarily where they should be located in order to have proper adjacencies. But what I will say is I'll talk a little bit about the infrastructure and the challenges that we have there. But I do want to really instill that the people that are providing care are providing safe, quality care despite these challenges. We also have a lack of integrated service delivery, and we have a system dependence on urban transfer. So many of our patients will be transferred out, and then we struggle with ensuring that we're able to get them back home, closer to home for care in a timely way. So when we look at our planning, we want to ensure that we are able to care for patients of a higher level of acuity, but also to help navigate those patients that may not be finished their acute care stay yet, but maybe don't need necessarily acute care bed. So we're going to look at a different model that I'll share with you in just a minute. This graph is the staggering graph, and that yellow line that you see, hopefully you can see it on your chart there, that is the 80-plus population within our catchment area for our hospital and the growth that is expected to be seen over the next 20 years. That's a 152% increase in the 80-plus seniors category within our catchment area. That's close to 30,000 people within this category, and there's a need to design a space and a place for seniors to ensure that we are providing the appropriate level of care and safe care for this patient population. This graph here, you'll likely recognize the map and the hospitals that are within that map. Around the black line that you see there is really the primary catchment area for our hospital at HGMH. And this outlines a significant population that is living at risk when we look at the social determinants of health. There's a category that's given between levels 1 and 3, 4 and 7, and 8 and 10. 8 and 10 being those people that have multiple assignments of risk levels. That's income and wealth, seniors 75 plus that are living alone, recent immigrants, education level, and the region type, which is living in a rural area. 91% of our hospital catchment area is living in a high-risk group category of 8 to 10. So what this means is care close to home is not born out of convenience. It is truly a necessity for the people that we provide care to at HGMH. These are our preliminary workload projections, and I'm not going to go through each one line by line and bore you with all the numbers, but suffice it to say, in the next 30 years, from an inpatient bed perspective, we would be looking at growing from our current 37 beds to 68 beds overall in the next 30 years to meet the demand and the need for services at our hospital. Our diagnostic imaging will grow 41% increase in terms of the need and the number of exams and images that we will need to capture to ensure that we're providing appropriate diagnostics, and our ambulatory care need rising again 30%. So this is another area where we look to change the type of care that we plan to provide. I'll just note that there is a section in here where you see today under 23-24 numbers for medicine and inpatient services. There's a line there called restorative and transitional care, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. But in the next number of years, that's a bed space that will grow to 11 to 15 and to 18. So on this slide, you'll see in terms of the services that we currently offer, those are the ones that are not bolded, and the new services that we would plan to offer into the future are in bold. And the restorative and transitional care beds are short-term beds for patients that are no longer in need of acute medicine bed. However, they do require continued services to increase the level of function within themselves, so that before transfer to either a long-term care home or home with support. So we're really looking at restoring function and independence and confidence for these patients prior to discharge. This will also help support repatriations from urban centers of patients to receive care close to home. So if we have transferred them out to the Ottawa Hospital or to Cornwall Community Hospital, we would be able to receive these patients back and support a safe discharge and hopefully increase the level of function and perhaps even avoid long-term care admissions. The type of healthcare providers are nurses, doctors, allied health professionals, social workers, really trying to work and support these patients. In addition, we would plan to implement a medical day program, and this is outpatient hospital-based care. These would be things like treatments of infusion services, chronic disease management such as COPD and CHF, diabetes, wound care management, and post-discharge support. So these are some of the ideas that we would have available in our medical day program. And on the right-hand side, you'll see potential partners on site, because in addition to growing the hospital and transforming the hospital services, we look to implement a rural health hub on our hospital site as well to truly create a campus of care. We've talked with the Alexandria Family Physicians Group for Primary Care, Centre de Santé Communautaire de l'Estrie, Canadian Mental Health Association, Care for, Ontario Health at Home, and IRLA, which is our lab association, who's already on site. Now, I share with you that these people, we've spoke with them, they've supported our idea, but again, we're at the very early stages of planning, and nobody is committed to anything at this point, but really interested in continuing along with that dialogue. Our plan has been supported by the Cornwall Community Hospital, the Ottawa Hospital, and the University Heart Institute, who would be major partners in the services that we provide. So our plan has gone forward for a pre-capital submission that has really a three-phased approach. And the first phase would be to create the community health hub. And on your screen, that's that little blue square that's a rectangle that's to your furthest right. And once we're able to build that community health hub, we create space within the hospital, because we currently have our primary care physicians that are housed within the Glengarry Memorial Hospital. So we'd be able to move the physicians into their new purpose-built space, and then we create some potential to move services around while we begin to create a new patient care tower, an ambulance bay at the hospital, and as well infill and renovate the existing site. So just to give you a bit more of a visual, this is a very early stage planned rendering of what it could look like. The white section of the building is the current hospital that you would see today when you come in, and the other sort of brown sections are the new areas for the hospital. So to your right, as I said, would be the health hub. Off the back of the hospital would be a 5-story patient care tower to support the additional beds that I've talked about, up to 68 beds. and we would create a new entrance to the hospital where currently our portable sits, because we don't have space, so we have a portable on site, and as well creating a new ambulance bay. And then all within the hospital, it would be renovated as well to ensure that we are creating synergies within the space and enhancing the capacity that we can care for our patients. So I can leave that up or say move to the thank you, but happy to also answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much. Questions? Comments? Councillor McDonald?
Thank you, Mr. Warden. So, I mean, we met at AMO with the Minister and Deputy Minister of Health. What, in their timelines, they, obviously stated the same thing that you did today, that we're at the very beginning of the process. What would you anticipate, say, like a grand opening date, if you were?
I wish I had the crystal ball, as every stage of the process does require ministry process. What I would say, if we continue to move through the process in an expedited way and gain approval at each stage of the process, I would say we could have shovels in the ground in the next 8 to 10 years. This is a long-range planning. This is early planning right now, and this isn't a shovel in the ground tomorrow. But that would be, I think, the earliest I would suggest that you would see a shovel in the ground.
Okay, thank you.
Teresa? Go ahead. Councillor Bergeron?
Thank you, Warden. Actually, I just have a comment on your hospital. I went to visit it for the first time last week. I went to visit someone in rehab. And I just have to compliment you, the staff there, the nursing staff, the cleaning staff, the physios, so cheerful and pleasant. I was really, really impressed, and I just wanted you to know that.
Thank you very much, and I will pass that along to the staff. I appreciate that.
Councillor Fraser?
Thank you, Mr. Warden, through you. When I look at your community healthcare hub, what do you anticipate for healthcare professionals, doctors, nurse practitioners, the number of those professionals do you anticipate would occupy that space? Thank you.
So I think right now we would be probably looking from a physician perspective with however much the family health organization will grow. So I think that we could see anywhere between 8 to 10 physicians housed in that building, provided they wish to move their practice there. There are some family physicians that are currently not housed in the hospital and throughout Alexandria who would potentially also be interested in coming in. In terms of Community Mental Health Association, we could have social workers and spaces there to help support with mental health and addictions, care for community support services, so things like day programs for seniors could be housed there. So these are the types of services that would be looking for in that community health hub. Any service that is provided that has a healthcare lens or social service, we would be absolutely open and willing and talking to them to set up a service here in Alexandria, whether that be their primary location and or a satellite that we can provide for within that building.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. And it sounds exciting. I really appreciate the idea of a healthcare hub where it's a destination that you can go for all of your needs, mental, physical, and medical care. I look forward to, hopefully, to see the start of this, but the success of this. This is great news. Thank you.
Thanks so much. I think the only comment that I would add to that is the synergies that patients would receive by having the healthcare services and community support services housed in one location and have patient navigation, where if you saw your primary care provider and you had a patient navigator and the other services and the ancillary services that you need to support you in home located right down the hall, it eases the burden of accessing services when they're right there on site. So thank you. I appreciate the support.
Anyone else? Thank you very much. Appreciate the fact that you guys are looking 20, 30 years into the future, because if somebody isn't, we're going to be in a mess. So very much appreciated. All right, we'll move on to 6.3, transportation, sale of surplus land at County Road 15 and Maple Street. And I think Director Harper is going to speak to this.
It's moved by Councillor Fraser, seconded by Councillor L. McDonald, that the Council of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry declare the lands legally described as Concession 4, Part Lot 31, as surplus to the SDG Counties needs, and that Article 5 of Policy Number 1-14, Sale and Disposition of Surplus Land, is hereby waived due to exceptional circumstances, and that notice to the public of the proposed sale shall be posted on the SDG Counties website only, and that the surplus portion be sold to Greg Robinson and Jing Z, the adjacent landowners, at fair market value.
Thank you very much. Mr. Harper, go ahead.
Thank you, Warden, and good morning, County Council. This is a report looking for support to declare the land surplus as per our policy 114, so that we can move forward with the sale. This is sort of step one in that process. The way that this parcel came about, it is an irregularly shaped parcel, so if you looked at the map, it's triangular. There's not a big building footprint available. And the way it came about was that the road was realigned at a certain point in time. We believe it was the 70s, which created or changed the orientation from a sort of a stop and turn intersection to what we see as the curve that's existing. And so, yeah, just looking for support here to answer any questions on that.
And thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Councillor Williams?
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Just reading through it, I see that you're offering it to the neighboring property, and that it's going to be advertised exclusively on the website. Now, what if that property does gain interest from another party?
Well, through, I guess, the recommendations, we would be exclusively looking at selling at fair market value. The neighboring parcel landowner has indicated their willingness to pay for fair market value for it. We would need to go through the appraisal process to know what that is. If somebody did express interest, I guess we could come back for further direction from County Council on how they would wish to proceed. Yep.
Thank you. Anything further? I have one question myself. On the map that is provided, it shows that there's a road widening going to be taken. Are we going to, does he get the appraisal before the road widening or after? Just wondering if he has to pay for it and then give it back.
Yeah, whether it's gratuitously given to the counties, that's something we can negotiate with the owner. There is an expense for that, so I think it would be fair that they do not pay for the road widening dedication, but pay for the survey. Yep.
Thank you very much. All right. All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. And we are on to consent agenda. Madam Clerk.
It's moved by Councillor Bergeron, seconded by Councillor L. McDonald, that all items listed under the consent agenda section of the agenda be received for information purposes.
Thank you. Anybody have anything to bring up from consent? Seeing none, all those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Boards and committees. I guess I'll go first. Not too much in the last month. Things are slowing down. Everybody's back to school. Summer holidays are over, and there's not as many events for the warden to go to. But we did have a police services meeting, which will be covered, and also shared services with the City of Cornwall in the last month. And I just wanted to mention the Municipal Summit. I thought it was great. I know quite a few of you were there, and a lot of staff, and it was a great day, and I think it really helps build what I think this council has been pushing for, a collaboration between the municipalities and county council and municipalities amongst themselves as well. So I do think it was great, and I want to thank staff very much for organizing it. I'm sure there's a fair amount of work that goes in that we don't see, but appreciated that very much. So move on to joint liaison or shared services. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Councillor. Yeah, I'll get to it in a second there. So shared services, I'm going to ask Councillor Fraser.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. At the recent meeting, it was brought to our attention that the ongoing story of reduced revenues through court services as the number of tickets issued continue to shrink. So that's an ongoing concern about funding and revenues raised and expense of the court services. And the report about housing that, as we're all well aware, the excuse me, the issue continues. The lack of housing and the need for housing continues to be an issue. The lack of housing continues, but the need increases, and so that continues to be a challenge. The most recent information is that there's 600 people, families, looking for appropriate accommodations, and that's a challenge for them to find it. It's a challenge for us to provide, for Cornwall and SDG to have it provided. And currently there's 86 people actively homeless, which is another stark reminder about the challenge for housing. And as for the budget, I think many of us were aware of a report in the Standard Freeholder about the strong mayor powers and the setting of the budget for the City of Cornwall, and the concern that that setting of that budget would affect our involvement as a joint liaison committee with shared services and our involvement and input into the budget. But I think those concerns were alleviated. I look for confirmation on that, Madam CEO. Those concerns have been alleviated. We will be present at the next meeting, where we'll have an opportunity to provide input and gain more information on the budget the City of Cornwall has and how it affects the shared services and our involvement as County Council. And I think that somewhat wraps up. If I've missed anything that needs to be expressed, whoever has that information, please go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Warden.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? No. Library Board, who is going to speak to that? Councillor Landry.
I can speak on that, as Councillor Broad is not with us this morning. We are meeting this coming Thursday, but I would like to take the opportunity. So we did have our, on October the 6th, I believe, was our SDG read. We had our author that joined us, Nita Prost, on the book Made, I believe is the name. The event was a full sellout, really great evening from talking to the people that were there. I'd like to compliment the library staff. I think the hall itself looked great. We had many on from the County Council here that were present, and again, I think it's gaining traction. We'll be divulging next year, but I think this is something that we can be very proud of. So again, thank you to staff. So I see Councillor Fraser wants to add to that.
Well, I'd just like to add some data to that. Thank you, Councillor, if I may, Mr. Warden. Thank you. And again, I'm always good to be corrected when I throw numbers around, but I believe the number that was sold out at was 160. Sounds like the right number. And just for a little bit more not background, but more information about that, the author, Nita Proust, was traveling to Russell Township the next evening, and they anticipated maybe 30 people would be in attendance. So that speaks to how well our library services promote the idea of coming in to meet the author and to engaging and to reading and to using the library. So there's great efforts being made, and we can see that. And I know Councillor Broad would like to speak about the data and stats, and I think that information that I'm providing would be provided by him as well. It just speaks to the success through their efforts. So my thanks as well, and I'm sure Lachlan has something. Thank you, Mr. Ward.
Go ahead.
I suppose it's thank you. It's the same thing, but it was wonderful. We also had our warden there just to highlight him, so he came with his family. I believe they had a wonderful evening, and everybody I spoke to was very impressed. I guess we're not allowed to put things on the walls anymore, but it was very well decorated, and I was, yeah. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. And I will say, the warden was there, but he pretty near wasn't there because he didn't get his ticket on time, and he was on a waiting list for about a week. But anyway, it finally came through. Somebody must have canceled, and I was able to get in. So next year, get your ticket early. Police Services Board. Councillor McGillis.
Thought you were going to start it off. Everybody knows that the survey for the 2026 Detachment Action Plan was sent out by Kimberly. And last week, and please complete it by November the 5th. Kimberly will send another reminder, she said. The survey has only 10 questions, and it would allow Mark, our detachment commander, to accurately capture the responses to bring them forward to the police board, and we'll discuss it there and make decisions. So if anybody has time before November 5th, please fill out the survey so that we make our job a little easier. That's all I have for the police board.
Thank you very much. Questions, comments? No. Eastern Ontario Health Unit.
Yeah, I attended the meeting.
Councillor McGillis.
Regrets, Councillor Williams, but I spoke in your behalf anyway. Dr. Paul announced that, of course, that everyone knows that the Eastern Ontario Health Unit will be able to offer the federal dental program we discussed earlier, which will provide dental services across the area in 2 locations, Cornwall and Castleman, with Castleman offering dental hygiene services only. The program is expected to start soon, though he noted that there will be some initial challenges in organizing and scheduling the separate provincial and federal programs. The province is now coming out with a program too as well in terms of dental care for people that fit the criteria. Then there will be future announcements from the Ontario government coming up. There will be a comprehensive communication campaign, as Councillor Williams mentioned at the last meeting, and I mentioned too as well, different ways of, getting the channels out there in terms of communication so that people know that there's availability for dental care for anybody that are having problems with or don't have any plans or things like that. So anyway, we're going to work with all our media partners and get the word out there. And things like municipal websites, Facebook, things like that, we're going to have to get out there and make sure everybody has an opportunity to use the services. Thank you.
Thank you. We're good. Glenstorden Lodge, anything? Guess it would be Councillor MacDonald. Okay, thank you. St. Lawrence River Institute, nothing. Raisin South Nation Source Protection. Councillor Bergeron.
Yes, we finally had a meeting last Friday. Okay, so over the years, they always change the rules with the Ministry of Environment. And so the updated source protection plan was written last year. It had to go to public consultation between December and January of 2025. Then it was submitted to the province. The province made some minor changes to the wording. And so now the final copy of the source protection plan can be written.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Thank you very much. Algonquin land claim, nothing. Regional incentive program, nothing. Rural education.
Yeah, thank you. We got a meeting scheduled for October 28th.
Thank you very much. Social Development Council, Councillor Williams.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Warden. So since the departure of Caroline Hébert as Executive Director of the Social Development Council, the organization's been in discussions with the Eastern Ontario Training Board to talk about the possibility of the Training Board being an umbrella organization where then the Social Development Council would operate within that umbrella. And then that way they could support each other's services, give the Social Development Council some administrative support, and strengthen the organization. So a letter of intent has been written and has been signed by both parties. So the arrangement has been made, and it promises to have a strong future for the Social Development Council moving forward, with the support of the Eastern Ontario Training Board, which has, really a kind of a crossover collaborative model, which will work well together.
Thank you very much. Maybe good news. Any questions, comments? None. Forest Working Group, there was no meeting, and Border Mayors Alliance, Mr. Broad is not here, so We are on to key information. County Road 22. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Councillor Williams.
Would you indulge me for 1 minute, please, with a quick update about Roma? I forgot to ask you previously. I was in Toronto last week for a couple of Roma meetings, and I just wanted to share some good news that came out of that meeting, because I've been advocating for some work to be done on the school closure issue, knowing that a moratorium has been in place since 2017, but there wasn't real 100% consensus around the board table because there are 10 Roma regions, and really for us to focus on an issue, it really does need to be a common issue throughout the province, rurally. But it was determined that it is a common enough concern across Ontario, in rural areas in particular, that if this moratorium is lifted, then we're going to be facing the same, catastrophe that we did, back in 2017. And so the AMO staff have produced a presentation that involves a proposed strategic advocacy approach, and they presented it to the board in order to see if there was interest in moving forward with this. And basically, the 2 points of the advocacy are that the province of Ontario, in the interim with supervised boards, as you know, some of the school boards that haven't been functioning optimally are now considered supervised boards. This could really change the face of the way school boards function and trustees, and they're saying that in the interim with the supervised boards, exempt all schools from closure that qualify for the rural and northern education allocation funding as set out by the Ministry of Education. That's number one. And number two, that the province of Ontario consult with Roma about any potential changes to the moratorium to establish a criteria and a process with municipalities that considers the impacts to both students and community socioeconomic and health and well-being before a school is considered to be closed. So this is I think, will be good news for your committee, Councillor St. Pierre, because with the backing of an organization that has the influence that Roma does, and obviously AMO on top of that, this advocacy strategy could really make a difference for us. And I think it's excellent news, so I was very supportive of it around the board table, and the board did vote to support it. So
Thank you very much. That is good news, and thanks for promoting it. Councillor McGillis.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Warden. Councillor Williams, what is the criteria for the qualification? You said if they qualify. Do you have any information on that so that we'd know in advance?
No, but this strategy was just basically kind of a bare bones in terms of the strategic approach, but in terms of how that's going to unfold and the details involved in it, I'll keep everybody up to date as it unfolds.
Thank you. Councillor Densham.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. And yeah, it's a very important topic, and thank you for sharing that. The one thing as well that I think the boards need to look at is anticipated growth. With the housing shortage and the amount of development that is going on in many rural areas, I'm not sure, at least in our municipality, the way things have played out in the past, that the boards have the flexibility or the mandate to look at potential growth into the future. And I think that's something as well that needs to be addressed.
You may.
Yes, Councillor, that's an excellent point. One that I made to the staff member who was presenting the strategy was that, some of our rural communities are slower to get growth going than others. And in the meantime, of course, the government will be looking at it like, well, you don't have the population to be able to support this school. Well, there needs to be, as you say, a vision into the future that, nobody is going to come to that community if the school's just been closed. So that needs to be part of this strategy, which they will build into it as it goes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that update. We'll move on to key information, County Road 22 reconstruction update, and Mr. Grant.
Good morning, Ms. Warden, members of council. So this report provides an update on the County Road 22 reconstruction project that extends on information provided to council during the August meeting. This report outlines recent progress, construction updates, and financial implications. So construction progress, the reconstruction on County Road 22 continues to advance on schedule. Considerable progress has been made with the successful completion of the road pulverization, the installation of 3 cross culverts, 1 box culvert, and the installation of the new granular road base. Fine grading has been completed together with the installation of base lift of asphalt. So remaining work, we're approaching the final stages of the project, which includes the installation of the top lift of asphalt, sign installation, line painting, shouldering, and guide rail installation. The work is expected to be completed by the end of October, at which point the project will be deemed as substantially complete. The landscape has been deferred to spring of 2026 to ensure proper vegetation establishment. Completing the landscaping work this fall would risk seed and soil loss during spring runoff and snow melt, particularly on the foreslope and back slopes of ditches. So on-site communication, the contractor remained and continues to be open to residential concerns, responding efficiently to issues brought to their attention. Regular communication and consistent site presence and a transparent, responsive approach ensured that both SDG staff and the contractor remained approachable and accessible to residents throughout the project. Whether in person or by email, many residents appeared comfortable voicing their concerns. Thanks to a strong collaboration between SDG staff, the contractor, and residents, concerns were addressed respectfully and resolved in a timely manner, contributing to a smooth and positive experience. Additionally, regular updates were provided to residents by both the SDG staff and the contractor through verbal communication, mailbox notices regarding road closures for culvert replacements, and social media posts. So, financial update. As part of the redesign, existing roadside ditches and municipal drains required relocation. The scope of work included the removal of existing topsoil, which was salvaged and set aside for reuse during landscaping reinstatement. Similarly, subgrade material beneath the topsoil was also salvaged and set aside for reuse to support road widening along the foreslope of ditches. Based on pre-construction soil assessments completed during design stages, adequate volumes of subgrade material were expected. As excavation progressed, it was discovered that topsoil layer was deeper than anticipated, resulting in a shortage of suitable subgrade material. After a careful review of the material shortage, limited availability of imported subgrade material, granular B was approved as a substitution. The granular B met design specifications and was readily available, allowing the contractor to continue without delay. Although the material change resulted in increased quantities and associated costs, a tendered item with a confirmed unit rate was used. The use of imported subgrade material was expected to be of similar cost. However, material supply was uncertain and the material would have required testing to confirm suitability. There was also potential for contractor delay due to the material shortage, material non-compliance after testing, and testing turnaround times. Considering these factors, proceeding with granular B was deemed cost-effective, reasonable, and an appropriate substitution. Additionally, the use of granular B offers long-term benefits. Its drainage properties improves the road performance by reducing water retention, minimizing frost heave, and limiting asphalt surface cracking. These characteristics contribute to longer lasting and more durable road structure. So weather impact, this was brought to council's attention back in, I believe it was July. So we received a significant storm event on July 2nd, negatively impacting the newly installed drainage system. During this event, the construction site experienced approximately 4 inches of rainfall within a period of an hour to an hour and a half. The rainfall overwhelmed municipal drains, resulting in multiple entrance culvert washouts. The hydraulic force led not only to culvert washouts, but also to the deformation of a high-density polyethylene culvert. The damages sustained required immediate entrance reinstatement to reinstore emergency access. So additional costs during drainage work, sand material was discovered, which is highly susceptible material for erosion. Slope stabilization using riprap was required to protect both foreslope and back slope of ditches. Without stabilization, the ditches could have failed, leading to sediment running downstream, leading to potential drainage restrictions and the need for additional ditch cleaning. Also adding the asphalt cement, this was also brought to council's attention during our summer operations. The AC index has increased by 20%, which will affect our asphalt installation. So forecasting overall, the estimated overrun is about $690,000. Thanks to early planning and budgeting, the project is still expected to come under budget, and staff will be providing a financial breakdown in November. So with that, I'll open the floor to questions.
Thank you very much. Questions, comments for Mr. Grant? Councillor Densham.
Thank you, Mr. Warden, through you, and this is great news, so thank you for the progress that's happened. With the spring thaw and the fact that you're not able to plant, and I agree, and do the landscaping, is there a higher risk of washout with the spring thaw and the water running, and are there any plans to monitor that more closely so that we don't experience another washout, in this case due to spring thaw?
Through you, Mr. Warden. At this time, with the status of the construction of the foreslope, we're not overly concerned about any type of erosion. We will continue to monitor through the winter operations, and early spring we would have staff go out or the contractor remedy the issues, but we don't foresee any major erosion concerns at this time. So.
Thank you. Anything further? Councillor Williams.
Thank you. Just quickly, the road is looking magnificent, so good job.
Thank you. Seeing nothing further, we'll move on to 11.2, Forest Fire Update, Alvin Reynolds Forest. And Mr. Duncan, I believe, is speaking to this.
Hello again. So this report, there we are. This report is just, we just wanted to highlight and give thanks to all of the first responders, provide an update, but mostly provide thanks and highlight some of the traction a lot of our comms and social media picked up. We're also going to describe some of the damage to you, show you a couple photos, and answer any questions that you might have about some of the response and the damage. So pass it off to Phil.
Sure. So thank you for allowing me to provide an update. Just an overview of where the Alvin Reynolds Forest is, so everybody is aware. It's about a 400-acre parcel within the township of North Dundas. The forest is located east of County Road 7 and kind of sandwiched between Chesterville and Morewood there. So the red dot on the map indicates the location of the county forest property. This property is unique to the area as that it encompasses a large portion of the Morewood bog, provincially significant wetland. In addition to that, it has some unique forest ecosystem types, including probably the southernmost black spruce plantation within the province of Ontario. The Morewood bog has experienced periodic fires throughout its past, with records indicating fires in the late 1950s and 1983. So this is a property overview that shows the boundaries of the county forest. So the North Dundas Fire Department was alerted to the fire on Sunday evening. That was September 21st around 6 o'clock p.m. And the fire originated approximately 1.2 kilometers away from the County Road 7 access, which is the township road allowance. The access to the site and lack of available water as well proved difficult and made initial firefighting efforts very challenging. So this is a view from County Road 7. I believe this was taken from Facebook from a neighboring landowner, but this was early on Monday morning. So the Morewood bog is predominantly peat, and this is decaying organic matter, and whenever it is extremely dry conditions, it is very susceptible to fire, and extinguishment of this type of fire requires just an immense amount of water. So this is a landscape photo just taken to show sort of the burn area and how it was burning. So this is a lowland hardwood forest, and the fire was burning underground and down to the subsurface layer. So in the absence of water on site, excavators were brought in to create a fire break. So this is a view of the excavators working along the township road allowance, which is at the very north end of the property. And as you can see, there's a little bit of smoke in the air there with the fire rapidly approaching. This photo was taken on Monday morning. So much timely rain on Monday afternoon around noon provided a lot of relief. That was great, thanks. And it kind of allowed us to go in and actually determine the size and extent of the fire. So this is just a photo of myself and one of the resource technicians from the Ministry of Natural Resources who provided the assessment on Tuesday morning around 8 a.m. A plan was developed from there and allowed us to get good quantity of water and onto the site. Just required a lot of logistics, and then the fire was sort of surrounded by hose, so we pulled out close to 5,000 feet of hose, and then between Tuesday around noon and Thursday afternoon, approximately 650,000 liters of water was dumped on the site using high pressure pumps. Mutual aid for firefighting effort was included and provided by all 5 neighboring townships to the township of North Dundas, and even included a crew from an Edwardsburg Cardinal as well. By Friday morning, crews had effectively targeted all hotspots, and a monitoring plan was established with a 5-person crew that went out daily around 10 a.m. to survey for additional hotspots. So the green line on your screen here shows the actual fire break that was created with the excavator, and the yellow indicates the total area that was affected by the fire. So these are just some additional photos showing how the fire burned. So those are large soft maple trees, and essentially what would happen is that the fire was burning underground. It would sort of undermine the root system, burn off the roots, and then the entire tree would fall down, which proverbially said, adds fuel to the fire. So as that vegetation dried out, that is what was combusting on site. And then the second photo there is just a photo of sort of some of the hot spots and how the fire would continue to burn underground, and just required a lot of patience and diligence in fighting those. You would spray water on a spot for close to 10 minutes and then come back and it would still be on fire. So. And this is just a photo about 5 days after, showing some of the new growth that's already starting. Fire, although unfortunate in this circumstance, is a natural part of the landscape. And we just appreciate all the hard work and dedication from the fire crews and the township and volunteers, and specifically also the residents who dropped off food and provided a lot of support for our volunteer firefighters. Do you want to handle the communication side, or?
The communications were included in the report. I think it does demonstrate the benefit of having sort of that coordinated approach. It included some videos of Mayor Fraser, and just sort of the way that it was rolled out was quick and consistent. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved in that, and Todd. So is that the end? That's the end of the slideshow. So if you do have any questions, happy to answer.
Thank you very much. Questions and comments? I got Councillor McDonald and Councillor Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I just want to congratulate all the staff that were on the ground. The first responders from North Dundas did a fantastic job. And I just want to say that in just going back onto the social media campaign, with a great campaign, you may keep people away from driving by, wanting to see it. Yes, I'm in Alexandria, but I did feel like I wanted to see what was going on, but all the updates that we got through the county staff and North Dundas staff, and I'll say Mayor Tony, you were fantastic with your interviews. A couple times, the one in the rain, I wanted to go give you a hug, but you were online and it looked a little stupid if I did that. But just a fantastic job all around to everyone. So, and thanks for all the updates.
Thank you. Councillor Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Yeah, kudos to the communication. Those live videos were amazing, and we used that as an example. We had an emergency management meeting tabletop exercise last week, and we used that communication model as an excellent example to use in an emergency. So, very, very helpful. Just a question with regards. It's a county forest. Is there any cost to SDG with regards to the fire?
Madam CEO, would you want to tackle that?
Perhaps I can respond to that. So thank you for the question, Councillor Williams. I have been in conversation with CAO in North Dundas, and then all through this exercise, we worked in sync together. At one point in time, we were looking at different options for trying to put the fire out. We actually were also considering water bombers at one point in time, but the weather was certainly a big help. And the individual that we had from the Ministry of Natural Resources, I think, was also very instrumental in helping us how to best approach it. There was a fairly significant cost incurred by the Township of North Dundas, and we're currently trying to come up with a complete tally of those costs as well as our own costs. I want to also give a shout out to Phil. Phil put in a tremendously long week during that whole stage, and we talked about how many steps you get in, but also too, if you're wearing hip waders and boots and you're trudging through the bog, it's not the same as running shoes walking in a park. So the CAO and I would like to take it offline and review those costs and bring a report back, because I do believe that the uniqueness of it being a county forest, and yet we rely on the township to do the fire suppression, I think that there are costs there that would be reasonable that the county should be covering, not to have the township incur all of those costs. So all of this to say, I think that what we'd like to do is we'd like to bring a report back to our two respective councils once we have those tallies confirmed.
Thank you. Further comments? Councillor McGillis.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I think in addition to what Councillor McDonald said, with respect to all the volunteers in North Dundas that did such a great job, I think maybe it would be appropriate or a good gesture if we had a letter signed by the warden thanking them for all their time and their volunteers, work experience to help get this fire under control. So that's.
Thank you for the suggestion. Councillor Fraser.
Thank you, Mr. Warden, and if I may, and I appreciate the comments about the communication. I'll be quick about this part of the communication thing. I think back to the time that many of us that are here today at this table were early days of the pandemic and how we needed to get communication out, and this was the next big thing for North Dundas to express is the challenges that we're facing locally. But I do look at back there, Mr. Lyle, Todd, and his efforts to coordinate with our communications person from North Dundas and to make sure that the messaging that was sent out to the public was appropriate, factual, and timely. And and timely was a word that was important because, as it's been mentioned, a lot of people in the area were very concerned about what was taking place, and we wanted to get ahead of the curve with social media and make sure that the proper messaging was expressed to not to alleviate concerns, but to make sure that the concerns that they were having were valid concerns and honest concerns. I had heard the other day someone was bringing me up to speed, and every day is a learning process for me, and I'm sure for all of us, that the peat is a fuel, and I knew peat was used to heat homes in other areas around the world, and that person mentioned to me that, and I just did a quick review online, it is early stages of becoming a coal. It is a type of coal. It's a fuel, and that bog is full of fuel, and then hence the concern that, and I do appreciate the pictures and that which piggyback to the stories told by the firefighters that were trudging through, dragging hoses and walking by trees and then hearing the tree fall behind them and the amount of danger that they were subjecting themselves to. We appreciate their efforts. But this bog fire brought to our attention, to the attention of the fire service locally, and to all of those members from outside of North Dundas participated, and my thanks go out to them, is the need that we need to rethink the equipment that's on our SDG wildland trailer, and how we need to reevaluate the stock and the inventory and what is needed. It was found quickly that there was not nearly enough hose, and I know Chief Robertson is involved from South Glengarry, is involved in this discussion about evaluating the equipment in there, and I do anticipate that there will be an expense to be borne by all the fire departments throughout SDG to ensure that the equipment that's on that trailer will be readied for whatever that we anticipate may take place in SDG. It will be not a great challenge, but nevertheless a challenge that will be shared by all of us, I'm sure, to ensure that the equipment is ready for whatever takes place. As we know, we all are very desiring that we maintain and increase our stock of forests, and we've got to be ready to protect those. And again, once again, thanks for everyone for their support. Pass that on to your fire service members that were able to help, and finally the residents, as Mr. Duncan talked about, dropping food off and best wishes. There are even people dropping cash, stopping at the office, stopping at the scene, asking how much, is this appropriate, is this enough, and donating cash to this predicament that we all faced, which speaks to the good-natured people of SDG. So thank you very much for everything.
Thank you. Anything further? Councillor Landry?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Warden. So just as we move forward, we have many county forests. For our knowledge and prevention, was it investigated as far as where we think the location and the source that ignited this? Do we have further information in regards to that?
Currently, the cause of the fire is under investigation, and so it might not be the county's place to speak on that right now, other than it was sort of an open-air illegal burn.
Thank you. Councillor Bergeron?
Warden, I'm sorry, that just brought something to my mind. We had a very, very dry summer, and we have a lot of bog. We have a lot of peat moss in our area, which can ignite very easily. And I noticed that on the East Coast this past summer, because they were very dry, they actually prevented people from going through their forests to prevent such a fire from happening. And I don't know, maybe in the future, if we have a huge drought, we might be considering the same thing. Because the fire was not started by a lightning strike. You know, it could have been someone walking with a cigarette. It could have been a spark from a four-wheeler. We don't know. And so maybe in the future we might consider that they did the same thing on the East Coast.
Anything further? Thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Next up is administrative update. Madam CEO.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. So I have a few dates on my administrative update. Just want to remind council we have budget meetings planned for December 2nd and December 3rd if we need a second day. Our county road tour is this coming Wednesday. Would encourage anybody joining us to dress appropriately, comfortable footwear, because we're going to have a couple of spots where we might try to have council come off the bus and take a look at a couple of our sites. So please feel free to put on shoes or boots that might be comfortable. The Warden's Banquet is this upcoming Saturday, so we're looking forward to seeing everyone in Tartan Hall. And then also, too, just want to put on everybody's radar, the inaugural meeting is December the 12th, and we will have that meeting here, and then we're planning a reception following that at ESCA.
Thank you very much.
I think, yeah, I think that's it. Maybe just further to some of the warden's comments, we are headed to EOWC meetings later this morning, and then tomorrow we have a Parliament Hill Day. Eric Duncan is sponsoring the breakfast for the EOWC, so we will see a few members tomorrow in Ottawa.
Thank you. Any comments? Councillor Bergeron?
So I just have a short question. At what time do we meet for the road tour on Wednesday?
9 a.m.?
8:30 at the Finch Patrol facility.
Thank you.
And we will be sending out an agenda shortly with times and those stops, and so look forward to receiving that.
Thank you. Anything further? All right. We are moving on to closed session. Madam Clerk.
It's moved by Councillor L. MacDonald, seconded by Councillor Fraser, that council proceed in camera pursuant to Section 239(2)K of the Municipal Act 2001, a position, plan, procedure, criteria, or instruction to be applied to any negotiations carried on or to be carried on by or on behalf of the municipality or local board for a contract negotiation matter, and pursuant to Section 239(2)D, labor relations or employee negotiations for a collective bargaining matter, and pursuant to Section 239(2)B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, for a human resources matter.
Thank you very much. All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. reconvene.
It's moved by Councillor Dencham, seconded by Councillor Bergeron, that council rise and reconvene in open session without reporting.
All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Moved by Councillor St. Pierre, seconded by Councillor Dencham, that bylaw number 5513, being a bylaw to adopt, confirm, and ratify matters dealt with by resolution, be read and passed in open council, signed and sealed.
All those in favor? It's everybody. Thank you. And adjournment. Madam Clerk.
It's moved by Councillor Bergeron, seconded by Councillor St. Pierre, that council adjourn to the call of the chair.
All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much, everyone. And we're 2 minutes after 11, so we can still make our 1 o'clock meeting in Ottawa. Appreciate it, everybody.